Hello, my name is William James. I'm the host of The Bald Book Geek. This episode, how to fix Star Trek Discovery. Now, Star Trek Discovery is an interesting blip in the Star Trek canon. And I want to talk about how to fix it, not how to restart it and pretend it doesn't exist. How would I fix it? If I was making Star Trek Discovery, what would I do as a Star Trek fan and a lifelong Star Trek fan? But first, here is a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Wilbur Seymour and his fantastic science fiction series, Kyber Station. Right now, they're exclusively available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. All the links and info you need below. Do check out his fantastic series. So, Star Trek Discovery exists in this weird timeline and bubble, and they've kind of semi-rebooted the series because I think the creators wanted to run away from the canon as much as possible, because they obviously don't know the canon, and that's the main issue I have with Discovery. First things first, I would tone down Michael Burnham. Michael is a Mary Sue, and I'm going to get hate for that. I've been called some nasty names saying that I think she has the potential for being a really good character. But the whole links to Spock's secret adopted human sister, it's a fanfiction trope. The fact that the entire show, especially the third season, which was horrible, focused on Michael, and all of these characters behind her had given up everything. All of their families are dead, and the only emotional thing was, yay, we're following Michael to the future. And the plot hole that exists because the red suit had autopilot. So that's one thing I would do. I think I would... Star Trek at this point, in other series, you at least know the other characters and spend time with them. And Discovery is so focused on Michael that other characters get pushed aside. Season 1 had the best budget, and I loved Captain Gabriel. Season 2 had my favourite cast. Season 3 was a disaster and completely made Saru, for example, a fascinating character who needed more time. And I felt like the emotional weight of Series 3 should have been focused on Saru. And the also push of breaking canon with the explaining of the universes and getting rid of Philippa Giorgio, which is a shame. But that's just like a writing issue. That is just, we've written ourselves into a hole and we need a convenient way of getting rid of people. And it's already been proven wrong with Spock. Prime Spock going to the Kelvin universe. So, yay for breaking canon. The in-universe technology and design. Now, this is what I want to clarify, and people don't get what I mean by in-universe technology. I'm not talking about CGI and special effects that we see. I'm talking about what technology is present within the universe that the characters are using. Discovery looks out of place between two series. If you look at Enterprise and then go on to the original series, that's a big leap, but Discovery doesn't fit it. You can see the naval elements in the industrial design, and that's at least there. But the computers, the uniforms, replica, all of this stuff, it's not quite where it should be. And there's a lot of references to like Star Trek TNG and Voyager, tech-wise, that shouldn't be there. Like, if you know Star Trek, the canon's a bit loopy in places anyway. But there's canon a bit loopy, and then there's let's just change something. The in-universe technology doesn't fit where it's meant to be. Like, Enterprise was very focused on naval technology, and the original series was focused on NASA technology. And you could easily bridge those two beautifully, and they didn't. And that leads me into this one, production design. The uniforms, spaceships, all of this stuff are out of place. I don't care about the Klingon makeup. Klingons have changed throughout Star Trek. They have. And sometimes they've explained it, a virus. Other times they haven't. I don't care about that. I actually liked the Klingon makeup. I did like the fact they toned it down a little, but I did like the Klingon makeup. What I didn't like was the ship designs. Like, the Klingons have a very particular look of their ships, their birds of prey, and if you look at the ship designs of Federation that you see, the production design is out of step and looks more shiny and sleek and more bioorganic than it should be. And I know this is a nitpicky video because I am a fan, but like, it could have been, they could have just made everything just look shiny in HD. They didn't need to. Look at the Birds of Prey of Klingons. I'm picking on Klingons. Vulcan as well, they actually got that kind of right. But, I mean, this looks more advanced than the Kelvin universe with some of the ships. The uniforms are also a nitpick because why is there 2 Starfleet uniforms? Why? And I really worry we're going to end up, Strange New Worlds is going to be a mess. I'm really worried about this. Why are there 2 uniforms? Military, naval uniforms tend to change like that. You know, you might get some old equipment here and there, but things tend to stay pretty solid throughout. And if you look at where the timeline of placement of Discovery, which happens years after the pilot episode of original series, but before the original series, we're in like a gap between the two. Why do these uniforms not line up? Why does the technology not line up? And that's also another thing. The fact that I feel like the creators are more into Star Wars, the tone of Discovery is very Star Warsy, and I don't mean that in a complimentary way. I also think when it comes to like just contradicting the canon, I feel like they're writing as they went and were just throwing stuff at it. What I do like, and I want to clarify this one, I wish they had just expanded on that, given us an explanation. The people that watch Star Trek are not, yes, it's the general public, but there's also scientists and NASA people, and like, just have a look at the viewership and look at the history. I also, and this one's gonna annoy people, character development. And I said this at the start, that at this point in Star Trek history, we, like, look back at Voyager, look back at DS9, look back at Next Generation, look back at Enterprise. A few seasons in, we've got to know these characters. We know them, we know their motivations, we know their private lives, we know a lot about them. But Star Trek Discovery is so focused on Michael that even when they are doing other character-centric stories, for example Christopher Pike class in Series 2, or Saru, and just what I will say is just the laziness of the writing and trying to make you care about characters that give no development. Just, you know, you've gone to the future, your family are dead, there's no emotional resonance, there's nothing to care about. And I mean, Michael Burnham is the Will Wheaton, the Wesley Crusher of Discovery, and she's the main character. Discovery had potential, and I think if it had carried on the strengths of Season 1, and actually the first half of Season 2, it would have been at least fun. But it's missing that Star Trek magic, and it's missing what makes Star Trek Star Trek. This feels like I'm watching some Tumblr fanfiction.